Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the game called On the Road, which is a trucking simulator. So similar to Truck Driver in some ways, but different in a lot of other ways as well. So let's click New Game and we will override our previous profile. We will select a player name. Let's go with Tommy and a company name. Let's call it Tucker. In other words, Tucker Trucking. But Tommy Tucker Trucking, I mean, come on guys, you can't get more catchy than that, can you? Well, maybe you can, but let's start off with a player image. As you can see, there's a number of photos that we can use. I'll tell you what, let's go with this guy. And company logo, should I say. So there's a number of different options here as well, as you can see. That one looks a little bit familiar to me. But let's go with the truck. I quite like the look of that one. And truck brand, so as you can see, the brands are available. There's two different ones and they are licensed. So there's MAN or Scania. Let's go with Scania. And headquarters, well, we'll set that as, there's a number of options, isn't there? I haven't tried Frankfurt yet, so let's give that a whirl. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here with that one. But yet, I have played this game in the past. So I bought this game a couple of weeks ago, or maybe about a month ago now. And yeah, I was quite disappointed. I requested a refund, which was provided for me immediately, which I was really pleased about. So this game is available digitally only on the Xbox. Today we're playing on the Xbox Series X, by the way. On the PlayStation, you can buy a physical version of it. And initially here we're greeted by this message that tells us we do have a cattle trailer and a semi available. In other words, an articulated vehicle also available from a company liquidation. So that's been given to us. So in terms of the location, we really want to pick it up from the same city that we're in. So we'll just select that, and we're also greeted with this first screen here, which tells us sort of an introduction and tells us that we have our headquarters and first truck, a good starting point for a haulage company. So we're going to be looking around for assignments to get started with, and as part of this, we are going to be located here in Frankfurt. So there's a number of businesses on hand, as you can see. Just see by this pointer here, this is where our headquarters are based, and we also have this truck available here that we can pick up at some point. We're not going to do that right now. We'll probably look at that in a future episode if we get that far. Now this game does have its ups and downs. I'll tell you that right from the start. And as I was saying at the start of the video, I did request a refund for this game at first because I was extremely disappointed. I felt like the game was unplayable. The graphics were terrible. They're still not that great, to be fair. Now when I picked up the game initially, the mirrors had been added to the game. At first on Xbox, the mirrors weren't included because of the performance issues that the game was having. The mirrors were just making it 100% worse. And even when we go into the menu now, which I'll show you in just a second, there is a warning that having the mirrors switched on does make the performance worse. But looking at the vehicles that we've got here at first, we do have a rigid box, which is what we'll start off with. We've got the semi available, and we've also got a trailer for the semi as well. So you can also have employees at some point, and also you've got a finance screen. So back to our overview, you can see we've got 8,000 euros. We've only got ourselves as a worker. We've got 2 vehicles and 1 trailer. So let's just come out of here. Coming out of that screen with the B button, it'll be a circle on the PlayStation. Also hits the horn there, which I don't know whether you heard that. But let's start off by getting our ignition on. So we're going to start our vehicle. So we go into this quick menu to do so, which is a down press on the D-pad. So just looking around before we start this engine, you can see, I mean, the graphics inside this cab are pretty okay. I mean, look, we're playing on a next-gen console right now, and it doesn't look next-gen, let's be honest. The graphics outside, apart from the vehicles, looks even worse in my opinion. I mean, there is some nice modelling in this game. Nice modelling. There's also some rough and copied and pasted areas, and the lighting, although at times can look good, is also on the rough side. I don't know whether you can tell from the way the sort of that shadow's moving. It's just not right, is it? Let's just come out of that menu for a sec completely, and we can also, as you can see, jump out the vehicle. Now I don't know whether you can tell, but I think this vehicle's really well modelled. I know it has some flat edges, but there's some reflections, and the way the light sort of cascades off it, it looks good. I mean, the modelling looks good in my opinion. If we look around the vehicle, you can see that you can open these doors, and we do that as part of our... That noise is so loud, isn't it? Like, in comparison to the other noises, that is a loud noise, and it you know, it's a bit ridiculous to me that. There's also a tow bar there to be able to connect other trailers to the back. But yeah, just the ability to jump out the vehicle and move around is different to Truck Driver, because you can't do that on that game. Once again, with this lighting, the way the sun's moving there across is rough. It does look early access, this game, in a lot of instances. You see this type of thing that you just have to ignore. I mean, you might be wondering therefore, why are we even playing this game? Well, it does have some endearing factors about it, and it does have a lot of support from the online community, and the reason for that is because you know, I say we, I include myself in this now because I'm on board with this game and I'm sticking with it. But previously I rejected it because it just didn't seem like it was going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, the fact the game's released, it's purchasable now for $24.99, you know, is questionable in itself. Should they have waited? I think so. So let's get things started. We'll jump outside for a look here, and we will fire the engine up from outside. I'll turn the volume up and I'll let you hear the way this engine starts, see what you think. To me that sounds awesome. I don't know about you. Go back in the cab. I was just giving you a brief moment there just to have a quick listen to the engine. I think it sounds great. But yeah, that's a really good point. So it tells us that we can brake and we can release the handbrake there as well, which will just re-engage. Now the next thing that we need to do is to just go to our tachograph. So this is the method that the game uses for determining how long we can drive for before we sleep. So initially we're going to stick a card in. So it's registered as there as Tommy. Our rest time is available to us, but we're going to change our mode to drive. And, you know, initially that to me didn't make any sense, but now that I've been playing the game, I can actually understand that a bit better and explain that hopefully there for you. Now, after 9 hours, we need to switch back to rest. And when we do that, when we press accept, we will take a rest. And it doesn't matter where we are, that rest will occur. We can be in the middle of the road. If we press rest, we're going to sleep for 9 hours. And, you know, you can look at that in two ways. You can say, well, that's ridiculous. Like, you know, why would the game allow you to do that? But you can also think of it in terms of, well, it's up to you when you take that rest. If you want to really enjoy this game, if you want to role play in this game, if you want to immerse yourself and use your imagination, then you're going to pull over at a safe place before you do that. So let's accept our drive mode. So we've got 9 hours of drive time available. We are low on fuel, and what we'll also do is we'll bring up our lights a little bit, because I think that's part of it. We can go up to like a full-on high beam, but we'll just start off with a sort of low sort of normal sort of lights, just as you would really if you wanted to be safe while driving a truck. Now we're low on fuel, so we need to get fuel to start off with, so let's just press there. Now it says we don't have any assignments, that's fine, but we're not going for an assignment, we're going for fuel. Now by pressing on that, You would hope that it would give us a waypoint, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. So I'm going to figure out that we need to go right, we need to go across the crossroads, and then we need to go left. So that's the path that we're going to take. Let's just see what this is. See if we can clear this. There we go. We got rid of that as well. So once again, back to the driving mode. Back inside, right. So let's get cracking, guys. So we'll release our parking brake. Now, something else that I'm going to do here is just go into the options, and I'm going to switch off the tutorial because that's no longer necessary, and we're going to leave on mirrors, and as you can see as well in the control options, there's no option to change the you can't have inverted basically on the y-axis. So if that's you, then like me, you're going to have to learn how to not use that, or unless you play on Xbox and you go into the actual settings and switch it using that. That's another way you can do it. For me, I'm just going to crack on with it without the inverted happening. What I am going to do is, which I've just done there as I was talking, is turn up the steering damping a little bit. Steering does feel a little bit erratic in this game, and it's not quite right, to be honest with you, but by turning up that dampening, I have found that that's helped, and I will continue to experiment with that and see where it takes us. But for now, I'm going to accept these settings, and as another little quick thing I'm going to do is just go into here and also get rid of the on-screen navigation, because it is available on our dashboard there as well. We'll just go back one screen, and for seat adjustment, I'm going to move it back. It just gives us a better sort of view of what we're doing, and it just seems a little bit more natural and right to me. It just looks better. So there we go. Right, guys, we're low on fuel. Let's get moving. We'll indicate and we'll pull out. So as we're in Europe, we're driving on the right hand side. Right, let's get around here. So as you can see, I mean, the sound is very nice. So as we found out there, we're going straight over here. Stick the parking brake on again. So we can see from our lights here, there's an overhead light, and there's this other light to the right which can indicate that we can turn right at times. I don't really understand if it means that we can go straight on as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but what I will say is you can run the lights and there's no penalty for that. Can we go yet? There we go. Right, okay. So there is speed limits in place, although there doesn't seem to be any consequence for breaking the speed limit. And yeah, I'm not too sure how it affects things. I mean, I know that from driving fast, the truck does become harder to control and it's easy to crash. Now, when it comes to crashes, there's no real impact on damage to the vehicle as such. When you've got a cargo with you, you can damage the cargo, but there's no damage to vehicles, so that seems a little bit odd in some ways. I'm just going to stop short here because I don't want to not be able to see the lights. I might have moved the seat back a little bit too far here, but anyway, we're going to get our fuel, so we'll just wait here. I'm so grateful that there isn't an AI car in front of me, because the AI is just crazy on this game. Absolutely crazy. And it's something that they need to look at, but you know, you can have cars stop right in front of you. Sometimes you can have I came across a car on the road the other day that was completely blocking the road. It was just like sideways. Yeah, so they're not exactly friendly to you. But I guess that's all part of it, being a truck driver, isn't it? Like I say, you've got to use your imagination on this game. Right, so we want to be in here to get our fuel. Glad we got here without having to refer to the map again. There we go. Right, okay, so we'll pull up here. So to refuel on this game, firstly you want the brake on. You don't need to switch the engine off, which is strange. But what you do is you just go over and you just press on the fuel tank and then you fill it. So yeah, as you can see, it can be quite a costly thing, but thankfully you don't have to fill it that often. It is something you need to keep an eye on. I don't know what happens if you run out of fuel. I haven't tried it. But yeah, I would say we don't want to really, similar to truck driver, we don't really want to run out of fuel, and we don't really want to get tired either, so that we fall asleep. What we'll do is now, guys, we're only going to do one mission, and I think it might be worth us just going here and seeing what's available in terms of our missions. Now, it's worth noting that this map is absolutely huge. As you can see, we're currently in Frankfurt. Now, we do have a couple of places that are not too far away that I wouldn't like to travel too far during this one mission. So we've got... Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a quick look and see what our options are here. So that one's quite far. That one maybe is an option. Got another one there, which is, what's the difference between that and that one? Right, okay. So I think I don't know how to pronounce it. That's the problem. Is it coin? I don't know. So let's select this one as an option. Now what you can do is, if you go in to the same place, you can stock up on, you can fill the truck up with other items that are going to the same place. Now you can fill up the truck as much as you want and go all over the place, but I would recommend filling it up with stuff that's all going to the same place, because you're going to cash in a lot better by doing that, by filling a truck and taking one trip and getting as much out of it as possible without having to go all over the place. So I have a tendency to sort of go through this list and see if I can get other missions for the same drop-off point, basically. So I'm just going to continue to go through this a little bit. There's one. And as you can see, we're building up quite a cargo here as we're doing so. It would be better if this was ordered a little bit better. There's another one. Okay, so I think that might just about do it. Just see if there's one last one. Hopefully get this truck fully loaded when we get to this place. Was that one? No. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the map is huge, and once we get going, it'll give you an idea of just how fast this map is. Right, tell you what, guys, we're going to leave it there, and let's get cracking. Let's take the parking brake off first. So as you can see on our dashboard here, it's now giving us direction to this business that we're going to go and pick up from. Right, let's pull out of here before this guy comes along. Hopefully he doesn't try to run us off the road. But as you can see, the detail in the mirrors as well isn't ideal. It is lacking. I can't tell if that's a red light or it's a green. It's a red. Okay, let's stop. So yeah, using these lights is a good option. Although the way the light is casting a shadow over that one, it's difficult to see. But it is red. So yeah, you do tend to spend some time just sat at lights like this. There we go. Let's get cracking. So I'll probably, I might put some cuts in this little run, because this video is going to be ages really if I don't, and it'll be a lot of me just driving. So as you can see, what's really nice is the brakes work really well in this truck. I can't see my light there. There we go, that's better. It sounds great. The vehicle does feel powerful. I mean, especially when you've got an empty load like this, and the other trucks on the road as well. Feel, you know, they look good. They're well modelled, as I've said. So let's make some impact here. You do tend to spend quite a lot of time sort of sat around though, waiting for the lights to change, which is good and bad. If you want to really get into it, there is that sense of reality there. You're not just driving through green light after green light. We really are flying along there. Let's see where we're going. So we're going to do a left next. So we've got a light there to turn. These guys are going as well. It's not that I'm a maniac driver. I'm not really, you know, in real life. In these games I do tend to just sort of flog it a little bit. There is a cruise control as well, which is on the left stick, which is useful, especially when you're going fast and you get up onto the highways and stuff. But yeah, this is a lot of the game. I mean, a lot of it is driving, and I think obviously if you're looking for a truck simulator, did we just miss a turn off? Oh, we missed our turn, guys. Wow. Too much talking. Isn't that just the key to most of my woes when it comes to playing these games for you guys? Right, we'll get on reverse. Oh dear. We won't be a sec, guys. Right. Okay, this was our pickup point here. So let's get in here. I'm glad I noticed before I just talked endlessly. Okay. We kind of missed the sort of route that we needed to take there down that other part of the car park, but it's alright. It's not too bad. We just need to be over here basically. Now, because this vehicle isn't articulated, it does make it a little bit easy to park. We can do it on the mirror, or we can just lean out. I'll probably still make a mess of it though, won't I? I mean, going off previous history on Truck Driver. Here we go. So once it goes green, like that, you can stop. See if we can pull forward slightly. I think we're a bit close there. That'll do. Handbrake on. Or e-brake as it's called on this. Right, we'll jump out. So, we are going to take them. Yeah, we are taking them. There we go. Right, so we've got 1, 2, 3. There we go. So we're not really full there, are we? But that'll do. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm only giving you a heads up, really. You know, an overview of it. So as you can see, we've now got a fairly long journey to our next destination, which is it looks like 2 different drop-offs in Cologne, which is spelled differently up here, which is interesting. I don't really understand the reason for that, but if you're German and there's some reason for that, then please do let us know in the comments section. But let's swing this thing round and get on the road. Now the vehicle now feels heavier, the acceleration is slower, the steering is still fine, but the actual turning of the vehicle itself feels more clunky, which is as it should be really. I mean, I'm going to put the gas down here because I don't want to spend forever driving to this next location. Oh, that was a red light. Oh man, we just got a camera. That's the first camera that I've had on this game. I didn't think there was any consequences. Oh, that's the story, isn't it? Every time when somebody gets pulled over. I didn't know I was doing wrong, officer. Please, please. Right, okay. Here we are. Once again, similar to truck driver, when you stop, if you put your finger on the reverse, put your finger on the brake, it does go into reverse mode and you get that beeping sound, which can be a little bit sort of, off-putting. Let's put the parking brake on a sec while we're sat here so we don't roll. I do want to talk about the positives and negatives of this game though, and as I've said, the AI in particular is a rough one. It really needs sorting out. I mean, cars can stop just bang in front of you when you're driving, especially at lights. If I get stuck behind somebody at the lights sometime, I'll show you, and hopefully it'll do it. And it seems to do it every time as well. When the lights change and it's time to get going, the car in front just stops, like pulls forward and then stops dead. Well, we've got a green light. Thankful for that. So, yeah, it's a case of just being careful. I mean, I guess that's part of being a truck driver as well, isn't it? Just being careful on the road. If you do get other cars around you, then you have to be aware of what they're going to do. As you can see, guys, it's reverted back to giving me this massive heads up map. I'm not going to turn it off again, but it's kind of frustrating that it's appeared again. Oh, we've got somebody in front of us now, so hopefully we'll see this. As you can see, guys, I mean, it sounds good. It's well modelled, in my opinion. It's a decent game. Even that bus behind us is modelled. Love the sound of the brakes there hissing. It's a nice touch. I mean, Scania and MAN must have given, their permission. From what I understand from Train Sim anyway, the way that the companies, when they give their liveries and, with licensing stuff like that, they were saying with the TGV train that they had to request that a number of times and request permission for the way that the vehicle was modelled. Oh man, that was a bang, wasn't it? Let's reverse a little bit. Sorry. I honestly wasn't going to smash into you again then. I don't think they noticed. I mean, there's no responses though, they're just cracking on with it. What's this bus doing? How close do you want to be, mate? Seriously? Oh, we forgot to indicate. I'm sure somebody's cursing us out as we speak. Right, guys, we're going onto the highway now, so speed's going to pick up. And steering does become challenging at speed, I'll tell you that much. So we need to be careful coming on here. But let's just get the hammer down. Let's put the hammer down now. Get things moving. Indicator on. As you can see, the draw distance in the mirrors is absolutely terrible, isn't it? And that's another bad point of this game. The graphics, as I've already said. I mean, I don't know what you can see there, but yeah, I mean, there's certain parts of the landscape that look nice, but not on this particular section. Just looks rough. We need to pay attention to driving, really, but because we have I have a history of just veering all over the road on these games when I'm talking. But yeah, as you can see, guys, it's an interesting take, isn't it? And I still hope for this game to come through and to be really good. It's getting patched regularly now. Just engage the cruise control, but as you can see, when you engage that, it brings you down to 80 kilometers instead of sticking at 90, which we were doing, which is basically when we're going 90 there, the truck's completely flat out, so that's as fast as it'll go. But yeah, I mean, the gist of this game is a lot of driving like this on long roads, long journeys. Right, Right, let's have a look on the map and see how far we've come. So as you can see, we're not very far, are we? Let's have a look, guys. How do we get out of this map? There we go. So yeah, it's just literally a case of hitting the road like this and seeing how we do. Why are we slowing down? And for some strange and unknown reason, our on-screen display there has disappeared again. Right then, guys, so you joined me back on the road, and I did a bit of a cut there. Now, unfortunately, as part of that cut, I missed the turn off. I was going to do some driving and then come back, but as you can see, we've gone past our turn off, and I'm not going to go to the next section, so I'm going to do a dodgy manoeuvre here, and I'm going to go the wrong way up the slip road. Now, don't try this at home. We'll see how this turns out, and hopefully I'll clear this barrier at least. Remarkably, we haven't picked up any cargo damage yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Now, we want to be up onto that road going over the top there, I believe. I think if we go along here... Oh my days. Right, okay, maybe not. Let's see if we can go up this way. Look at that. I mean, I don't know whether you can see there, but there's a car. What are they doing? Absolutely sideways. So even if we'd gone that way, we'd be stuck now. So this might be a bit of a blessing in disguise, he says. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Load damaged. So as you can see, there's no damage to the truck itself, but the load does get damaged. Oh, why is it going this way? Okay, look, we're fine. Look, we're fine. Here we go. Alright, we'll swing this thing round this way. And we should be fine now. He says, I think this is the right road for us to be on now. We're stuck on a sign. That sign should have been squashed, shouldn't it, by us there? Right, okay. Let's see if we can avoid this, get around this sign. Oh my days. Right. Reverse. Reverse. Right, guys, we finally managed to manoeuvre out of that section there. I don't know what was going on, to be honest with you, but we're back on the road. We're on our way. And while we're going here, let's see if we can turn this. There we go. Right, okay, let's get cracking then, guys. Let's stop with the fussing, eh? As you can see, guys, just ease off the throttle there. There's certain things about this game that just look great. Now, I admit that that's my fault there, but I also would have been interested to see what we would have done trying to get past that AI vehicle that was just sort of parked sideways in the slip road. That's the type of thing where, yeah, you just don't want that type of situation, to be honest with you. Now, let's see where we are. Okay, we're making decent progress. I think if we keep flying along here, we'll be alright. So we're making pretty good progress, guys. I just wanted to come back and show you some of this section here, because as you can see, you know, the graphics were pretty decent there through that part. We're in some traffic here as well, which is surprisingly okay. It's fun gameplay wise. We're at full flat out speed. This corner might be a bit tricky because the vehicle does handle a little bit strangely around corners. I don't know whether you can tell, but I'm using a controller for this, obviously. The wheels are not supported at the moment for this game, although that could change in the future. But it's a funny one with the controller. You do have to get used to it. It's a case of sort of being very gentle, which is why I, in the options, entered a little bit of dampening, just to sort of help with the controls, because it is a little bit erratic, to be fair. and you can be all over the road. As you can see, I'm not really staying in my lane, and that's one because I'm talking, and secondly because the controls are just not good. But hopefully these are things that will be sort of patched out as time goes on. But yeah, we're going to continue on this truck journey, guys, and I'll come back to you again soon. So guys, I was driving along and unfortunately I had a bit of an incident. I was hoping to capture a screenshot, and yeah, I went to switch off the overhead thing on and smashed into the side of the road. As you can see, we've caused a bit of a pile up here, which is interesting to see, and I like the way the truck crashed. I mean, I've lost a bit of value in my goods that are on board, but the way the truck span was quite cool actually. I like the way the traffic is all backed up as well, and that's kind of realistic. We're not having a good time on this journey. I was expecting this to be quite an easy one, to be honest with you. Just a simple drive from one place to the next, but as you can tell, it's been quite hectic so far. Guys, we crashed the game. I think it was all the traffic, but we've managed to quick resume back in somehow. And here we are. Back on the road again, as the REO Speedwagon song goes. I get that song in my head every single time I think of this game. Especially just thinking of the title. But anyway. Right, okay, so we're coming off here. Let's make sure we do that this time. And hopefully we won't have any more crashes. I think some of the traffic's been removed there because it doesn't seem as much traffic coming around there as what there was behind us. But thankfully, we look like we're out of that mess. And yeah, what a journey this has been. This was supposed to be a simple introductory video, but what a carry on we've had. I put it down to talking. I blame you guys, and if I wasn't making this video, I'd probably be driving just fine. We've just run another light. Okay, let's just get to our destination. Hopefully we can do so in a safe way from now on. How are we doing for fuel? It's hard to tell without that dreaded overhead display on, but yeah, we'll be fine. This vehicle doesn't use much fuel, to be fair, so I think we'll be alright. Oh man, that's what I mean about losing control if you're going too fast. It's just so easily done. I guess this is quite a tight road, and also quite a tight set of corners, should I say. Let's see how far we are now once we've got around this corner. Let's have a look. It's not too far to go now. Let's get cracking. A couple of tight turns coming up. So yeah guys, just to recap, I mean, my general feeling on this game is that it is fun. I don't know whether it's worth the $24.99 in all honesty. As I say, the AI needs sorting out. What's going on with the engine there? The graphics are rough. The controls, like I say guys, it's so easy to just veer off like that. The controls need work. And yeah, generally also, I mean, the lighting is, as we stated, the lighting is okay, but there's just some things about it that are just not quite right. Outside of that, the modelling's great. We said that. I mean, look at that. It once again. If we can release the parking brake, it's just a nice model. The steering feels decent, especially at low speed. It really does give you a sense of driving, which is good. Positively as well, the sound, as we've said, is absolutely spot on. I mean, the sound of the engine is great. The hissing of the brakes, it's fantastic as well. Let's get indicating. Even the sound of the indicator, I mean, it just sounds good. That automatic click off there is a nice touch as well. These guys are going on the slow side. Finally, guys, I mean, what I want to say is this. I really do genuinely feel like the reason why a lot of people complain about video games is because they've lost the sense, or forgotten at least, how to use their imagination to play games. And that comes at a cost. And the cost is that you really don't enjoy games the same if you don't apply your imagination. And part of that is role-playing. And genuinely, I mean, to get into this game and to imagine yourself as a truck driver and the owner of a logistics business, you know, picking up your truck, calling your business a name, and really just enjoying the driving part. It's what the game is all about, and the graphics are rough, the controls are a little bit dodgy, but the sound with headphones on is amazing, and that really does add to it. And like I said, you know, you can pull over anywhere for a sleep, but the choice is yours, really. There's some vehicles there. It looks like our game on Construction Simulator, which we'll continue on with. But the choice is yours. I mean, even touches like that, just to be able to say that there, it's using the imagination, it's using creativity to immerse yourself in a game. And that's what it's all about. And in my opinion, putting the $24.99, just trying to see where we're going here, sorry. Giving $24.99 to this developer to be able to help them, you know, develop this game and push it on a bit. Yeah, you know what? It does appear to be an early access game, and it does feel like an early access game in a lot of ways. And it maybe should have never been released as I negotiate this car park, but it has been released and you can play it, and I'm grateful for that, to be honest with you. Let's just reverse up to here. There we go, I believe. Right, we'll stick the brake on and shut the engine down. We'll come out of that menu first, then we'll jump out. And we'll get these doors open. So once again, that sound is really loud, isn't it? But generally and overall, I do enjoy this game. I can't seem to get in here though. How are we going to open that door? Once again, I'm struggling with the struggling a little bit with the lack of inversion on the y-axis. Let's move forward a little bit, like that. That'll do us, I think. There we go. Right. There we go. That's better. Okay, trade documents. We've got those. Has this happened? Oh no, it's all still in there, guys. There we go. 42% damage. So we did get some money, although there was nearly €700 took off. And yeah, our reputation was damaged as well. We've got another drop off. We might leave that till next time. But I think this is it for today, guys. And I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If this is the type of thing that you want to see more of, without the crashes, then please do leave me a like. And please consider subscribing to the channel if this is the type of thing that you enjoy. I've really enjoyed this video today, guys, and I'm really grateful for you joining me with it. And I just want to say thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you again soon.